Welcome back. Let's take a moment to explore something many people feel, but don't always understand how to interpret. Human attraction is rarely loud or obvious. More often, it shows up in quiet, subtle ways that can easily be missed if you're not paying attention. You might have experienced moments where someone seemed close and engaged, then suddenly distant, leaving you unsure of what it all meant. This kind of mixed signal can feel confusing, but in reality, it often comes down to how differently people express interest. Attraction is not just about physical appearance or surface level charm. It is deeply connected to emotional awareness, comfort, and a sense of safety. When someone feels at ease around you, their body language and behavior begin to reflect that feeling in small but meaningful ways. Understanding these cues is not about trying to control or manipulate a situation. It's about becoming more aware, more respectful, and more emotionally intelligent in how you connect with others. There is also a psychological side to all of this. Over time, human beings have developed ways of signaling interest that feel natural rather than forced. While some people may express attraction more directly, many rely on nonverbal communication. These signals are often unconscious, meaning the person may not even realize they are doing them. That's why learning to notice patterns, rather than focusing on one isolated behavior, becomes so important. Another key point to remember is that genuine connection is built on mutual understanding. It's not just about recognizing signs, but also about responding in a way that is kind, respectful, and appropriate. When you approach interactions with patience and authenticity, you create space for something real to develop instead of something rushed or misunderstood. Think about how often people focus only on what they want to say, instead of how the other person feels. True connection happens when both people feel seen and heard. When someone feels valued, their behavior naturally becomes warmer, more open, and more engaged. This is where attraction begins to grow on a deeper level. Now let's gently move into the first sign. One of the most powerful and meaningful indicators of interest is eye contact. It may seem simple, but the way someone looks at you can reveal far more than words ever could. When a person holds your gaze just a little longer than usual, it often signals comfort and curiosity. It's not intense or forced, but soft and natural, creating a quiet moment of connection between two people. Eye contact plays a strong role in building trust. Psychologically, it helps create a sense of closeness and emotional safety. When someone maintains eye contact, they are showing that they are present with you, that they are paying attention, and that they feel comfortable enough to be open. It becomes a silent way of saying that your presence matters. If you notice this kind of eye contact, the best response is to remain calm and genuine. There is no need to overthink or act differently. Simply meet that moment with a relaxed and confident energy. A small, natural smile can make the interaction feel even more warm and welcoming. The goal is not to impress, but to connect. It's important to remember that this is not about staring or making the other person uncomfortable. Balance is key. A gentle exchange of eye contact, combined with a calm presence, can create a powerful sense of understanding without a single word being spoken. As we continue, you'll begin to see how these small signals come together to form a bigger picture. Each one on its own might seem minor, but together they can reveal genuine interest and emotional connection in a way that feels natural and meaningful. Thank you for continuing. Let's move forward in a calm and thoughtful way, keeping the focus on understanding, respect, and emotional awareness. Another important sign to notice is subtle physical touch. This does not mean anything intense or obvious. Instead, it often appears in small, almost casual gestures. It might be a light touch on your arm during a conversation, a brief contact while laughing, or a gentle tap to get your attention. These moments can seem minor, but they often carry emotional meaning. From a psychological perspective, safe and comfortable touch can be a way people express connection without using words. When someone feels relaxed around you, their natural boundaries may soften slightly, allowing for these brief interactions. It becomes a quiet way of closing the distance and testing how you respond. However, it is very important to understand that context matters. Not every touch means attraction, and personal boundaries should always be respected. If you notice this kind of behavior, the healthiest response is to stay respectful and aware. Instead of reacting quickly or making assumptions, simply observe the overall pattern. If the interaction continues to feel comfortable and mutual, you can respond in a similarly gentle and appropriate way. The goal is never to rush or escalate, but to maintain a sense of ease and safety for both people. Now let's talk about engagement in conversation, which is one of the clearest and most meaningful indicators of interest. When someone is truly interested in you, they don't just hear your words, they listen with intention. You may notice them leaning slightly closer, maintaining eye contact, and responding in a thoughtful way. They might ask follow-up questions or show curiosity about what you're saying. This kind of engagement reflects emotional presence. It shows that the person values the interaction and wants to understand you better. In many ways, this is one of the strongest foundations for any meaningful connection. When someone gives you their full attention, they are offering something very valuable, their time and focus. From a well-being perspective, this kind of interaction is also important for emotional health. Feeling heard and understood can reduce stress, build confidence, and create a sense of belonging. It strengthens communication and helps both people feel more comfortable expressing themselves. To respond in a healthy and positive way, focus on being present as well. Avoid distractions and give the same level of attention you are receiving. Simple actions like listening carefully, responding thoughtfully, and asking open questions can help deepen the connection naturally. There is no need to perform or try too hard. Authenticity is always more powerful than perfection. As we continue, remember that these signs are not about certainty, but about awareness. They are gentle indicators that, when combined, can help you better understand the emotional space between you and another person. Staying calm, respectful, and grounded will always lead to better outcomes than rushing or overanalyzing. Great, let's gently bring everything together and explore the final part in a thoughtful and grounded way. Another meaningful sign of interest can appear through playful energy. This often shows up as light teasing, gentle humor, or small moments of shared laughter. It's not about making fun of someone in a hurtful way, but rather creating a relaxed and enjoyable atmosphere. When someone feels comfortable enough to joke with you, it usually means they feel safe and at ease in your presence. Psychologically, this kind of interaction helps reduce tension and build emotional closeness. Laughter releases stress and creates positive associations, making the connection feel more natural and enjoyable. If you notice someone engaging with you in this playful way, the best response is to stay relaxed and join in with kindness. There is no need to compete or prove anything. Simply matching the tone with warmth and respect can strengthen the bond. Another important signal to consider is how someone chooses to spend their time. Time is one of the most valuable things we have, and when a person consistently makes space for you in their life, it often reflects genuine interest. This could be as simple as continuing conversations, making plans, or showing up regularly with attention and care. From an emotional health perspective, consistent effort is a strong foundation for any relationship. It shows reliability, intention, and a willingness to invest energy into the connection. However, it's important to remember that healthy relationships are always mutual. One-sided effort can lead to confusion or emotional strain, so balance is key. As you notice these signs, it's also essential to stay mindful of common misunderstandings. Not every kind gesture or friendly behavior indicates deeper interest. Sometimes people are simply kind, polite, or naturally engaging. This is why looking at patterns over time is much more reliable than focusing on a single moment. Overanalyzing can also create unnecessary stress. When you constantly question every action, it becomes harder to stay present and genuine. Instead, try to approach interactions with calm awareness. If something feels unclear, it is okay to communicate openly in a respectful and simple way. Honest communication often removes confusion and builds trust. When it comes to responding, confidence does not mean being forceful or overly bold. True confidence is quiet and respectful. It shows in how you carry yourself, how you listen, and how you treat the other person. Being genuine, patient, and emotionally aware will always create a stronger connection than trying to follow a script or impress someone. If the moment feels right, taking a small step forward can be a healthy and natural choice. This might be suggesting a shared activity, continuing a conversation, or expressing that you enjoy spending time together. What matters most is that it comes from a place of honesty and respect. As we reflect on everything we've discussed, you can see that attraction is not about guessing games or pressure. It is about awareness, emotional balance, and mutual understanding. When you learn to recognize these gentle signals and respond with care, you create space for meaningful and healthy connections to grow. Take your time with this. There is no rush. The goal is not just to notice interest, but to build something that feels safe, respectful, and real for both people involved.